Libyans are heading to the polls in the first nationwide parliamentary election since Muammar Gaddafi was forced out and killed. But the lead up to the vote has been marred with tribal clashes and fighting between rival armed groups. And as RT's Lucy Kalfanov reports, there are fears the elections will do nothing to stop the violence.
This is the new Libya. Political parties are now free to operate across the country. So too are countless armed groups. They once fought to oust Muammar Gaddafi from power. Today, it is they who are in control. Ragtag militias who answer only to their own commanders have grown more powerful than Libya's police and army.
We must put limits on these militias because they are dividing the country. They are why Libya is falling into decay.
Almost 1 year after a NATO-backed uprising ended Gaddafi's rule, Libyans are taking to the polls for the first time in decades. So with Tripoli's Transitional National Council too weak to quell ongoing violence, many fear that elections will do little to bring peace.
Where is the Transitional Council? They said that they are going to protect this country. With Gaddafi gone, there is nothing left. They said that Libya will have national unity. Where is it?
Here is what Libyan-style democracy looks like. Armed groups calling for more autonomy stormed a Benghazi polling station last Sunday, setting voting lists and ballots ablaze. Renewed tribal clashes broke out in Libya's city of Kufra. This past week alone saw the deaths of nearly 50 people, with hundreds wounded. And when members of a local militia seized Libya's biggest international airport in broad daylight last month, security forces simply stood by and watched. They vary in size from gangs guarding neighborhoods to small de facto armies like the one in Zintan, which still holds Libya's most famous prisoner, Saif al-Islam. When International Criminal Court staffers tried to visit Gaddafi's son, they too were seized and held captive for nearly 4 weeks. Justice, militia style, may prove to be the biggest obstacle to whatever government Libyans elect. Some groups are boycotting Saturday's vote, while others align with various political parties, a dangerous trend that could deepen existing divisions. Secularists, Islamists, even former members of al-Qaeda are among the nearly 4,000 people vying for a seat in the country's National Congress. The choice of candidates is bewildering. For some, that is precisely the problem.
This is pictures, you see, I don't know this man. How can this me give to him this nomination? How can? I think this is not logical,
Millions of ink-stained fingers will mark Libya's first experiment with free elections. But as the cases of Iraq and Afghanistan have shown, voting booths alone do not equal a democracy. And in the example of Libya, the line between freedom and anarchy is growing dangerously blurred. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. If unhappy with the result, Libya's armed groups now know what to do next.
We are against any dictator, but if history repeats itself, we will wage a war.
Lucy Kalfanov, RT, Moscow.